1101, 1816 is the item number on this one. And the nice thing about these practice katanas, oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt big time. A piece of that the tip just got me, Odell. Oh, that got me good.
You all right?
A piece of that tip just got me. Oh,
folks, right now, we may need emergency surgery in the studio.
TBTL.
Well, all right. Hello, good morning, and welcome, everyone. That classic theme can only mean one thing. You have made it to TBTL Tradio.
Buy, sell, and trade. It's Tradio.
This is the special TBTL production where you can swap, shop, or give things away. Give us a ring, 206-414-TBTL, 206-414-8285. My name is Luke Burbank. Right over there is the man whose idea this was, actually, the longest-running co-bro of the show, Mr. Andrew Walsh. A good Tradio to you, sir.
A good Tradio to you as well. I am excited. I just thought of something literally in the past 10 seconds or so, Luke.
Okay.
Obviously, we're doing a special presentation for us here today, our very first TBTL podcast Tradio show where people can buy, sell, and trade on the air. Obviously, this is a well-worn, very familiar, very favorite radio format around the country, but could we possibly be making history here by being online and thus the first ever international Tradio show?
And I'd like to say the shipping is going to be a bitch.
It's going to be rough.
I've got a set of Fiesta wear, but I'm in Portugal.
That's right, but that's where the good Fiesta wear is.
I'll send it to you in Des Moines if you need it. You know, I was actually wondering the other day as I was thinking about this special production we're doing today, Andrew, because this was something that you brought up. You said, hey, let's do an episode where we have folks call in and they can buy things or sell things or swap things or whatever the case might be. Did you grow up? You grew up in rural Ohio. Was this a thing you heard on the radio as a kid or even as a young adult? Because I realized something. My only knowledge of this format of radio is from Richard and Sal on the Howard Stern Show pranking people that are making this kind of... This was not a thing in Seattle when I was a kid. Swap Shop or Tradio, these kind of shows where they're like basically radio kind of classified ads.
I was introduced to it as a young adult in New Hampshire. So again,
it
kind
feels
of a
deeply
rural
New Hampshire.
Yes. And now I was in the state capital, but still the New Hampshire state capital is still a pretty, neighborhoody, rurally kind of vibe to it. And so, yeah, I remember on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure it was Saturday mornings, I would sometimes get in the car, literally, Luke, and this is what was so perfect. I just have this memory of getting in my car to drive to the transfer station, which is the modern word for dump, of course. And is there anything more...
a total transfer station.
Oh, clean your room. It's a transfer station. Is there anything more, I don't know, cozy than getting in your car on a Saturday morning to go to the dump and you turn on the radio and you hear people calling in and saying, I'm trying to get rid of an old Ski-Doo?
I mean, it's the platonic ideal. Maybe Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers.
Sure.
Maybe a little car talk.
Yes.
Other than that, it's about as good as a Saturday morning gets. And Andrew, I'll tell you, I'm fully immersing myself in. I'm like the Daniel Day-Lewis of doing this Tradio with you today because, for one thing, I was listening to a ton of Tradio this morning to get ready. Two, I have these Carhartt coveralls on. I think in the sort of spirit of being more of a like rural production than we normally are and getting out there and working with our hands. I also have, in case, I don't know, we're having trouble generating calls, I brought this, this is my squirrel lure, that I actually got from a hauler in Arkansas.
Is that on the market?
Oh, no, sir. No, I do have some things that I'm happy to offer later if we need that. And so, yeah, and then later today, I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff around the yard. I just feel like I'm in emotionally and spiritually the right place to be talking about this stuff today. Now, can I just, quickly, before we get to the calls, can I tell you a couple things I learned this morning listening to Tradio around the country? One, if you don't get calls, it can be a really, really challenging broadcast format. If you are in, let's say, WTKF, the talk station in Morehead City / New Bern, North Carolina, and nobody's calling in, the tap dancing can be tough. A lot of time to fill, a lot of going back over the things that have already, maybe somebody called in and was listing something 45 minutes ago. We've still got that slip cover for a Hyundai Sonata passenger seat. Going back to that, given the specs. Also, it sounds like every caller, and maybe this is because this is how I got to Tradio, was through the prank calls on the Stern Show. Every caller who calls into Tradio sounds like they're pranking the Tradio host. Can I play you just a little bit this is from WRGC, the Smokies hit radio in Sylva, North Carolina. This is a little bit of what I heard this morning.
And the folks at Caldwell, Rockyard, and Firewood. I want to thank all those folks for helping bring you Tradio. And speaking of which, let's get right onto the phone lines. Hi, you're on Tradio.
Yes, I have a 2006 Ford Fusion to sell.
That's a prank.
Right?
It's I got all new tire, new wheel, new brakes all around.
I want to say, if somebody calls in sounding like this today, we are assuming you're pranking us.
That's right.
And we're hanging up on you immediately. How about this guy calling into WTKF? That's the talk leader in New Bern.
We do have a couple minutes to go, so I'm going to jump over to Dennis in Newport. Dennis, how are you, sir?
Doing great, buddy, this morning.
Awesome.
All right, I want to post this again.
Does this sounds exactly like Sal Governale doing his impression of a southern rural person, and he's about to say Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. This is the actual voice he uses, I think.
2023 foot C-Pro. It's got a 225 four-stroke on it. It's a bracket. 1,060 hours on it. It's sitting on a 216 trailer.
I'm sure you're following all of that, right, Andrew?
Well, first of all, does the broadcast have the hiccups? Has the broadcast itself been drinking?
Well, let me explain something, Andrew. This may be shocking to you to hear, but WTKF, the talk leader of New Bern, North Carolina / Morehead City, they are not exactly dedicating resources to their streaming service. It turns out their website is what our friend Dave Ross would describe as kludgy.
Yes, it's buffering. It's still buffering from that broadcast, actually.
When the Google search parameters at 6:30 a.m. West Coast are Tradio Live right now, North Carolina, you find out that a lot of these stations, many of them religious in nature, many of them conservative in nature, are not the miracle of modern web streaming.
Yeah. Would you be interested, actually? I am enjoying this, and we're going to get to the calls in a little bit. We'll give
really
out
will.
the number here in a little bit and tell everybody about the ground rules for today's Tradio. But you did bring up something interesting. Maybe like in a couple of weeks we do this again, but we do like Christian radio. And then in a couple of weeks we do conservative talk radio on a Saturday morning.
I love it. You know, these are, I was never working for a Christian music station. I might have done the traffic a few times, but I can certainly easily slip back in to the mindset of like, what are these? I don't know if this will mean anything to you, Andrew, but what are these stations? I was going through the lineups of these stations trying to find Tradio, also known as Swap Shop in some places. And at least 3 of them are playing Kim Commando.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know about
Kim Commando, the technology expert. I was hearing a lot of Kim Commando promos. It was really taking me back.
I had never heard of Kim Commando, but the perfect person told me about Kim Commando, and it was Genevieve's dad, who just mentioned Kim Commando like years and years ago, just casually. And I'm like, who's Kim Commando? And then as I learn more, because she's basically a tech advice person,
like a computer
right?
person.
But there's a lot of cultural stuff around it. I'm like, oh yeah, no, for a certain like kind of generation, Kim Commando is just like everybody. Asking who Kim Commando is like asking where the sky is.
Now, speaking of like if we did sort of more of a Christian-focused Tradio, that also happened on this station, WRGC. What I loved is how quickly this caller transitioned from a pretty direct and extreme religious statement to the fact that she was trying to sell something.
Right now, let's head on to the phone lines again. Hi, you're on Tradio.
Yes, I hope everybody is thinking about our precious Lord Jesus Christ and what he's going through today.
I like that she's keeping it current, what he went through and what he's going through today.
Sure,
never forget.
Thought and prayer and dedication for him. Also, I have a beautiful plant that will glorify his name, make the earth a pretty place. I also have honey. Free-range organic chicken eggs, and baby, about 9-month-old chicks for sale that are laying eggs, and a lot of yard sale stuff. And my number is 828-736-2911.
2911. All right. We'll definitely get that back in there for you, dear.
Couple of things there, Andrew. No area code needed.
Nope.
No area code needed. And also, I like the sales pitch that basically says, I'm selling this plant, but if you plant it, it will glorify the Lord.
That's right. Well, I'm
it's
wondering,
a nice value add.
It really is. I mean, that's just a good sales pitch right there. I was thinking, and I'll be honest with you, 100. When she said, and some random garage sale stuff, I immediately thought, I wonder if she's got any old broken GI Joes in there I could fix.
Well, you know the number.
Was like,
you just got to Google.
I didn't write it down.
You've got to figure out what the area code is for that part of North Carolina. But otherwise, I think you can get a hold of her. I also heard the Tradio host on one station saying something to the effect of, and again, I was mostly focusing on the South because of the time difference. That was going to be where there was some happening in Nevada, but like they're doing their Tradio while we're doing this Tradio. And one of the hosts said something like, well, there aren't going to be any garage sales tomorrow because it's Easter. But if you are having one, let us know and we'll talk about it. Like just the idea that like
a little judgy, huh?
Everything stops tomorrow because it's Easter. As we're recording this on Saturday, although you might be hearing this in the Monday feed of TBTL. So anyway, I guess that's just a little level set. That's for both us and the listeners and the callers. That's kind of what we're doing here this morning.
That's right. I like that. For some of these folks, you said like when there are no callers, it can become like tap dancey time.
Yeah.
We're 15 minutes into this. We haven't even decided to open up the phone lines.
We may never open the phone lines.
Our whole show is just Tradio without the phone calls. So, and
More squirrel calls.
How much for the squirrel call again, Luke?
It's
I am going to
priceless,
buy
my
that
friend.
off. I will be buying that off you before today.
I want to
over.
also mention, Andrew, I've got a template here that I made. I will be keeping track of the people who call in and what their item is in case we need to circle back to that to remind folks of what's out there. Because again, that's a big part of the Tradio model I've learned is repeating things.
That's a really good call. Now, one of the biggest rules, and I've mentioned this on the show, and I've mentioned this in the many newsletters that the newsletter for the past 8 weeks has just been like, do you guys know that live stream Tradio is coming up? The biggest rule I would say is everybody who calls in, first of all, has to be engaging in this giving, selling, or asking process. You can call in if you're like seeking something specifically, like Susan. Sorry, there's just a lot of S's.
Desperately.
I was on a roll there.
Was that a Madonna reference?
It was, and also it was a reference to what was the movie that I was telling you about the other day that Genevieve and I had watched from the same era-ish, which was called Making Mr. Right, directed by the same woman who directed Desperately Seeking Susan.
Oh, boy, with Rosanna Arquette, I believe, and Madonna.
And you can sort of see that vibe in there. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What I was going to say was
snowblowers.
Folks who call in, if you have something to give away or sell, or if you're looking for something specific, call in and let us know. The big rule is don't call in if you don't have anything to talk about related to Tradio.
Yes.
The bigger rule is make sure that you have some sort of contact information that you can give away so that people can contact you directly. The number one thing I want people to take away from this is I am done once this thing is posted online.
I love it. This was your idea, but it's also on your last nerve as far as coordinating.
No, that's just not how it works, and I just want everybody to know this isn't like email Andrew to find out how that's. Get your pens out, get your paper out, however you do it, and be prepared to give and write down contact information.
May I add one more little which it hadn't even occurred to me until I was listening to some Tradio this morning, but also this is not a forum for your business.
Interesting. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
we're really coming down strong. I love this.
Well, we gotta move those people over to the Dazzling Donor message. That's cash on the barrelhead over there, my friend. We can't have people jumping out here promoting their accounting business.
No, it is a good point though. No services. We're not talking clarinet lessons. We're not talking, as you said, long hugs. If you're
free back rubs,
nobody seeking hugs, nobody offering hugs, nobody giving away or asking for money.
We will not listen to your dreams.
We will not listen to your dreams. We are not saints. And of course, if you're ready for this, Luke, I'm going to give out the phone number and open up these here phone lines. The number to call to join TBTL Live Tradio is area code. I'm sorry, we have to give out the area code because we're international. In fact, 144. No, the area code 206-414 TBTL. That's 206-414 8285. I am not kidding when I say I'm a little bit nervous about this. We are opening up the phone lines now. 206-414-8285.
If you get a busy
number.
signal, stay in line. We only have one phone line for the record. And so there'll be one person who we're talking to, and then everyone else calling will just be kind of hitting the busy signal. So just know that you are dialing the right number. It's just that we only have one phone line. Listen, we're but a humble independent podcast here.
That's right. I am call screening, call taking, doing whatever this
Art
hosting
Bell.
thing is.
West
I'm running
of the
load.
Rockies.
I don't know who's on the line with us now from the 858.
This is Carolyn from Encinitas, and I'm so excited that I got in.
You're the first caller.
Welcome to TBTL Tradio.
Thank you so much. I've been listening to the show since my kid was 2 and he's 18. So
oh my gosh, so only 16 years. All right, well,
newbie.
Love it. Anyway, okay, so I have a 2013. I'm just getting right into it. Is that
Do it.
okay?
Love it. Dive in. I love this.
Okay. I have a 2013 Ducati Hypermotard that I rode. It's a little over 20,000 miles.
this is a motorcycle. This is a full-on motorcycle, Carolyn?
Yes.
How
Yes,
much? I'll
and-
send you
and
the
I read
check
a
right
book.
now. I'll send you the check right now. How much? And don't give out your number to anybody else because I want this thing.
Andrew, I've been wanting you to get back into motorcycling for years. What happened was I rode it every day to work. I work at the university, and COVID hit. We didn't work as much there, and I fell out of practice, and now I just am ready to sell it.
Oh, it's so cool. Okay, I'm kidding about buying it myself. Genevieve won't let me, obviously, but this sounds super
I
cool.
know.
Sorry to cut you off. Tell us more about it.
No, that's fine. I'm good. That's good.
All
Okay,
right.
so hold on. Let me just read, because I'm not a motorcycle guy, even though a lot of people, when they meet me, they're like, you seem cool and tough. You're probably a motorcycle guy. So I'm not. It's a 2013. It's a Ducati. It's got, you said 20,000 miles on it?
Yeah, a little over 20,000. And for people who know motorcycles, it's a hypermotard, which I sound like an insult, but that's what it's called.
It does sound like an insult.
Do we call it that anymore?
It looks like am I right that it almost looks dirt bike-ish, or am I wrong about this?
Yes, it's very spare, dirt bike-ish. It's a wonderful bike. It's 821 cc's. And
Carolyn, can I
it's just
ask,
a wonderful bike. I
did
love
you
it.
ever listen to TBTL while on your Ducati Hypermotard?
No way, man. I didn't listen to anything, actually.
Oh, are you listening to the engine revving?
Yeah, it's super loud, and I would not. It's too. I just had to concentrate.
Okay,
Yeah, that'd be too dangerous. Now, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Andrew. After you.
Well, I was just going to ask, do you have an asking price in mind?
Oh yes, right. I forgot about that. So I'm asking 6,000, but if you're a TBTL 10, let's make a deal.
Wow. All right. Use promo code Tradio.
Exactly.
Use promo code Harry's Shave Club. What I was wondering, Carolyn, because you're in Encinitas, so you're down in the sort of greater San Diego area?
Yes.
And that's not too far from where they shot Top Gun, right? Wasn't that did you ever get your Ducati out there Tom Cruise style and just haul ass next to where the planes were and then just I don't know, be super cool? Did you ever do that? Because you want to do that before you sell this motorcycle.
Well, I did it. I mean, I did those kinds of things all the time. I was really fond of the 101, but I also really, I would go fast on the freeways. And I remember my first freeway mile. My friend Charlie, who was 70, he said, "Okay, we're going on the freeway today," and he took me for 1 mile on the freeway.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go if you want to go fast. Yeah.
But did you lane split in this thing? That's legal in California, and I can't believe thousands of people don't die every day on motorcycles going in between the cars.
No, let me just tell you, I agree, but there have been studies done that show it's much safer for the cyclists to keep going rather than stop in traffic. More cyclists die from getting rear-ended, waiting, than they do from doing that lane splitting. And lane splitting is terrifying and fabulous when there's traffic.
I'm glad to know it is also terrifying for you, because as a driver of a car, I'm just like, like the whole time I'm watching people kind of weave around on their motorcycles.
I know. It's terrifying.
I would
Some
do it a
people
little
probably
bit,
have, but
not
I
on the highways because I did not have any kind of motor scooter that could go on the highways, but I did have my little 2001 Honda Elite for a while.
How many
down
cc's
there.
was that?
50. And I think I could lane split on some of those surface streets in LA, but that are like 2, 3, 4 lanes long. And so I would just zip right in between everybody right up to the red light.
Yeah.
It was thrilling.
Bliss, and you feel like a superstar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Critically, Carolyn, we need to know how people can get a hold of you.
Right. I'm just going to give my phone number. It's 858 997 8975, and people can text or call.
Okay. If you are in the market for, or if you've had your interest piqued for a Ducati 2013 Ducati Hyper Motard with just about 20,000 miles on it. It was driven by Carolyn to church on Sundays, so it's in phenomenal shape.
Little old lady.
Yep, that's right. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for the call. What do you want to say?
One more thing, if anyone wants pictures, I can send them.
Nice.
I can text you pictures.
And so
Okay,
this is
cool.
this number is textable as well. We're going to give it out one more time. 858-997-8975. That's Carolyn. 858-997-8975. Good luck selling that thing. I'm excited for the person who buys it.
Me too. Thanks, guys. I love your show. Have fun.
We love you.
Bye,
Thank you very
Carolyn.
much. Wow, Andrew, that is a strong start.
It's a really strong start. The bar has
right
been
out of
set,
the
and
gate. A
it's way
cool
too high.
item, good
Yes.
energy.
Yes. We've got another call coming in here.
All right.
We'll probably grab this one if you'd
Here
like.
we go.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Who we got on the line?
Hey, it's Jake in Chicago.
Hey, Jake,
Jake,
the perfect
what's up?
daddy.
Hey, I have an old, I have a pretty old record player that I think might be decent for somebody who enjoys tinkering.
Okay.
I could not tell you the year, but I'm looking at it now, and it's a Magnavox, if that means anything to anyone. An old roommate gave it to me when I was moving out because he didn't want it anymore, but it still has up to one working speaker.
Oh, okay.
And it does play records, and I think 8 tracks as well. So
the
that's
issue with it
something
is
you're
that
interested in.
one of the speakers doesn't work, but the actual motor works. The turntable turns and the needle picks up sound from the record.
As far as I know, last time I used it, it worked fine. It was just not the greatest.
For those of you who are hearing this on the radio, I am really enjoying TBTL employee numero uno John Sklaroff's subtitles he's
Behind
putting
the
on
scenes.
on the YouTube feed. I believe he put, quote, it worked the last time I checked, the perfect daddy or whatever.
So describe this to me, though,
It
Jake.
does play
because
records. It does play records. That is true.
I'm a little confused about this, though. You said one of the speakers works. So is this a standalone record player that has 2 standalone speakers that you plug into it and it amplifies in some way? Or is this like a single unit that has kind of a speaker built in?
No, it has 2 individual speakers attached. One of the speakers blew out a few years ago.
Okay.
So I've just been using the single speaker, but we got a new record player and speaker system when we got married last year. So we don't really need this. Now it's just taking up space in our place. So
Gotcha. So no amplification needed. You don't need to have an amplifier or a tuner to make this work. It's a standalone.
Right.
Right out of the box, it'll be half working.
That's right.
Do you remember the last record that you played on it, Jake?
It's probably a St. Vincent record. She's one of my go-tos.
We love her. You know, I saw St. Vincent.
Mass Seduction, I think.
Have you seen that little? I don't know if you've seen this guy on TikTok. I forget what his name is, but it might be under like Track Stars, his handle. But what they do is they will have folks on. He'll stand on a street corner in New York and he'll play. They'll be wearing like Bluetooth headphones and he'll play music, and they have to try to guess who the band or name who the band is within a few seconds. It's actually a fun segment. It's kind of like you're getting to play along of like name that tune as the audience. But he had St. Vincent on the other day. And I could not believe how awesome and chill St. Vincent was. I'd never heard the artist St. Vincent talk. I'd only seen her perform. And I was so intimidated by her. She's this really great musician, but very, very angular and very kind of like very serious about the music. She could not have been more cool as a person. My life's mission now is to become friends with St. Vincent.
Oh, yeah, same. I've been following her since like I don't know, her first record in, what was that, 2008 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've just been, like, immediately listening to every record she's put out, and I've been a fan of every single one.
You're
She's
also
so cool.
a person who's angular and cool, Jake. So maybe you guys have that in
thanks.
common.
Maybe you'll
I
see each other on the
appreciate you saying
forums. Jake,
yeah, I'll have the angular forums.
are you also asking $6,000 for this record player?
At minimum, I would prefer an extra
Starting-
zero on the end
starting
there, but
negotiation.
I'll take 6,000. Yeah.
No, for real. What are you looking for, if anything?
Honestly, if you're in the Chicagoland area, I can just drop it off to you.
Oh, wow,
I
that's
mostly
nice of
just
you.
want to get it out of my house. Yeah.
Mhm. So you're not looking to sell, you're looking to give this away. And then if
Yeah.
folks are interested in this item, how can they get a hold of you?
Sure. You can text me at 616-745-9362.
Okay. I'm going to give that out again for everybody. This is a phone number that is textable, 616-745-9362. This is Jake in the Chicagoland area, a mostly working record player by Magnavox.
Excellent.
There you go.
Hey, thanks, Jake. And by the way, congratulations once again on the wedding. I know it was a while ago, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome. We're stoked
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Jake. All right. Luke, it's going pretty well. I love
honestly,
I love this
strong start. 2 for 2.
so much. Absolutely. We'll
I'll be in the Chicagoland area next week. Maybe I can swangle through and grab that record player.
you know what? Let the tens grab some too.
All right, that's fair.
I'm trying to get that motorcycle. You're trying to get you're trying to get that record player. And we do have somebody here joining us now. Who's on the line?
Hey, friendos. This is listener Danny Crawford from Television's FBI.
Hey,
Danny.
Are we in trouble?
Hey,
oh,
buddy.
Television's FBI, right? Okay, good.
What's up, guys?
How
you
are
doing,
you, man? How's the brood?
They are,
Are
they're
they
doing
sleeping?
great.
Are they sleeping
it's
right now?
fantastic. It's the most incredible time of my life. I am not sleeping at all. Yeah.
Where are they currently?
but
Are they
it's
somewhere
like-
in the house? Are they? Did you send them out to make this phone call?
No, they are sleeping right
Nice.
now. So
Okay, we'll whisper. Sorry.
Well, here. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Can you hear that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Now, I
Yeah.
want to be clear, Danny. We love you. We appreciate all you've done for the show. We cannot sell your babies on Tradio. If you're trying to get down to like 1, maybe you've decided 2 is too many. This is not the place for that.
You can give them away, but you cannot
Yes,
sell them.
that's
It's
the
a legal
weird
thing
thing about the rules. You can give them away.
I don't know. We were trying to, recoup some of it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
all right. Well, thanks
It's a
anyway, guys.
rehoming
Take it
fee.
easy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What are you really looking to get rid of?
Yeah,
or
what do
are
you
you looking
got?
for something to buy?
No, it actually has to do with my little guys. So we have racks of baby formula that we bought en masse before, like we have 2 different kinds. One kind we started out on, they were loving it, and then they got a little constipated on it. So we were like, well, all right, now we got a bunch of this, and we got to, pivot to something else. We bought a whole bunch of another kind, and they had the opposite problem. They couldn't keep it down. And we finally landed on a good formula that's working out for them, but now we have just tins of unopened baby formula. And
Which,
you can't
by the way,
return
is not
Right.
cheap. I understand, right? Like that stuff is the retail on that is pretty high, right?
Exactly. So, if I can, if anybody in New York has just had their own little guys, honestly, the price would be getting it out of my New York City apartment.
What do you think
That
the
would
street
be-
value of that formula that you've accumulated is?
Well, it depends on how you cut it. I mean, honestly.
Has it been stepped on? How much drywall's in there?
Why are you also giving away a lot of baking soda? Baking soda is what I would like to know there.
So Danny, you're offering to. I mean, this stuff is actually, I'm sure. Again, I bet you that to go out and buy this, and it's also very shelf stable. If I understand, this kind of stuff, it lasts for a long time. If someone's willing, if somebody's willing to come out and get this from you, so that it's not taking up space, that would be enough for you. Or are you looking to actually resell it?
Nah, we put it on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and stuff for a price, but if it goes to the home of another TBTL 10, then God bless.
Nice.
That's really thoughtful.
We will just, pass it off.
And you're giving away both the constipated stuff and the pukey stuff,
unconstipated
right?
stuff.
Like, is that?
Yeah, so, we never tried it, but hey, if you tried, like, mixing them together, maybe
it's just perfect. All right, how can people reach you?
So here's my phone number. Text me because I screen calls. They're not from my area code. So it's 302-547-0444. Or if you want to be, more formal about it, go on my website, DannyCrawford.com. I have a contact page.
Oh, look at this plug. Look at this
Love
plug.
it.
Love that. The man's a professional.
Always be closing.
That's right.
What is the website again? DannyCrawford.com?
DannyCrawford.com.
Nice and clean, nice and easy.
Tune in to CBS on
right.
what
For
night
what
is
it's
it,
worth.
Danny?
Yeah,
Tune in to
that's right.
CBS
Yeah,
on
we
what?
just
Yeah?
I was saying we're filming the finale right now, and all I'll say is it's spicy.
Wait a second. Series finale or season finale?
Season finale.
Okay, good. Oh, I got nervous there for a second.
We got to keep you and the Crawford family in formula for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
got to keep
exactly.
that sweet
So
acting.
let me real
work
quick because these are important. The brands that we have are Similac NeoSure and Enfamil Neuro Pro.
Neuro Pro.
So if you understand what that means, you're already in the market. So come hit me up.
Nice.
They are naming. Hold on, Danny. They are naming infant baby formula Neuro Pro as it will feed your baby's brain and they will become a professional neuro haver.
It's who names this stuff? It's the same cabal that names, that's like pharmaceutical companies are just like, what do we call it? Gentlelise. I don't know.
Dupixent. I just think neuro being in like that to me is like that's part of the baby industrial complex. Like I want to tell you and your lovely wife, Danny, to push back against about the Montessori industrial complex that's probably happening out there. Are you guys in Brooklyn?
We're in Manhattan.
Oh, even worse, the Waldorf industrial complex. This idea that your kids got to be drinking Neuro Pro and they better be in some kind of pre-Waldorf program at age 3.
You better be on a wait list right now or you don't love your kids.
You've already missed the window on that, dude.
Danny, let me give out your phone number more. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, neuro on anything baby is you're exactly right. That's like high buzzwords. Neuro. Oh, they gotta get big brains. Big brains.
That's right. Well, I'm sure their brains are going to be awesome because they've got awesome folks. So, what were you saying, Andrew?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know. They're my sons. So.
I think you got a lot going on upstairs, Danny. The number again is 302-547-0444 if you want the smartest babies who also might not poop because of the formula. No, just joking,
or
Danny.
Maybe poop too much.
Or maybe poop too much.
Or maybe
call
just
Danny.
the right amount.
I was going to say, I won't tell you which does which, so
make it a game. 302-547-0444 in the New York City area. All right, Danny, thank you. Good luck with the shoots and everything.
Thank you, boys.
Bye.
Let me just recap here, Andrew, if I can.
Yes, please.
We've got from Carolyn down there in Encinitas, a 2013 Ducati motorcycle. From our friend Jake, the Perfect Daddy in Chicago, we've got that Magnavox record player. Currently one speaker is operational on that. And now from Danny in New York, from Television's FBI, baby formula, never used.
How did that get so sad?
The perfect short story.
Now, are you, Luke, we do have another caller here ready to go, so I don't need to take up too much time here, but are you surprised that our first 3 callers all are giving away phone numbers? I thought for sure people were going to be creating a lot of kind of email burner accounts for themselves, but this is a very trusting community.
I am actually surprised. But it also, I think, speaks to the TBTL community. All of these, I would say a significant percentage of these folks know each other through the Stens page and through TBTL events and stuff. And so I think I wouldn't imagine that the calls we've taken are people who would put their phone number out there just generally in the world. But they know that if someone's hearing this, there's a good likelihood that they're a 10 and that they're good people. So I take that as a compliment to us, Andrew.
What are the rules about me drunk dialing these fine folks, let's say
Strictly
late
prohibited.
on a Saturday night?
Strictly prohibited.
Sure? You're going to have to Men in Black my brain.
Put the babies on the phone.
I want to talk to the brood. I love those kids. All right, we got another caller on the line here. I don't know who this is, but it looks like it might be coming from the Seattle area.
Ahoy, hoy.
Who do we got?
Hey, this is Chris in the Ballard neighborhood of Seattle.
Hello,
Hi, Chris. The call is coming from inside the city.
It is. It is very local. I'm right down the street from Andrew. I can probably yell and you can hear me.
Oh, nice.
Chris, will you be at Bad Albert's later watching the Mariners? Because that'd be my guess of where our friend Andrew might be.
Oh, if you're interested in having a stalker come by, then yeah, I will be there.
Nice. Unfortunately, Bad Alberts is not on the plate for today, but it will be as the baseball season progresses. That's one of my favorite places. Wow, Luke, it's one of my favorite places to take in a ball game. Chris, what do you got on your agenda today?
So I am offering up for sale a very gently used cat litter box.
Okay.
And before you get too excited, this is actually a very fancy cat litter box. It's a self-cleaning litter box. It is like Wi-Fi enabled. It has all the bells and whistles. It is a very, very cool item.
Is it if I can ask, is it a litter robot?
I don't think it goes around the room like Randy does.
No. Is it the kind that
place.
looks like a? Does it look like a spaceship? Is it kind of have like a round circular opening for the cat?
Yes, it is. It's like a very white, sleek-looking thing that you might find on a spaceship. So
I have
if your
one
cat
of those.
is planning on going to space, you can take this with it. Yeah.
I just want to back you on this, Chris. I have one, which is underutilized since Bubbles is down living with Becca now, but also Becca has one, and I would swear by these things. They are absolutely they're as advertised, and they make owning a cat or cats so much less troublesome in the litter cleaning department. They really are kind of a miracle thing. And so when you said gently used litter box, I was like, we need to talk.
Yeah,
but no, this thing is like a $600 item.
Yeah, I mean, my partner bought it. I don't know how much she spent on it, but I think it was a lot. The only issue is the cats just are kind of scared of it or something like that. We've got two cats, and we were hoping that it was going to help kind of clean up the general area, but they just didn't really take to it. And yeah, like they just like using the open air litter box. They're just kind of that kind of particular cat. So it's just kind of taking up space, and we wanted to pass it on to a cat that might appreciate it.
Chris, I have a question for you. How did you learn that the cats didn't like this litter box, and how messy was that discovery?
Well, we've got two cats. We were kind of hoping that like one would use one and one would use the other or something like that. And we found out that they would just both go to use the same open litter box, the traditional litter box, and they just weren't using the other one.
Smart. Okay, now, you didn't get rid of the other one and then just say use the new one.
Did you do what I had to do for modeling for Holly and Bubbles, which was I had to use the litter robot for about a week myself to just kind of let them know that's how it works.
Far.
Well, you might want to think about.
I don't think. Yeah, we weren't as dedicated as you were as far as the training process. So maybe that's where we fell short.
Yeah. I mean, your litter box is your litter box now, Luke, right? Are you using it still?
Yeah,
like,
there's
why
no
not?
plumbing.
You don't even have to share it anymore.
You've been here. There's no working plumbing at this place.
No.
It's all litter robot all the time.
just tumbles it around like a dryer.
It does. I will say this, like just one quick last sales pitch for this. Oh, by the way, Chris, how much are you hoping to get for this item, if possible?
I think $100 is probably a fair price.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have much use to it, and I think it was several $100s that we spent on it.
Oh yeah, these things are not cheap.
$100 for a 10, and we'll clean it up for you.
I was going to say that oftentimes when Becca and I are out in the world now, even traveling, like we were in Seattle a week ago, she on her phone gets an update when the cats go in the thing.
Yes.
And she was like, she'll get a little ping. She'll go, well, the cats are alive, which is kind of a useful service. Like if you're away from home for a day or two and you know your cats are going in and out of that thing, it's kind of nice to be like, all right, they're there. They're using it. It's happening.
Yeah, we were kind of excited about that because we had to bring Charlie into the ER a couple of months ago because he was having some urinary issues. And so that was kind of one of the selling features. And the thing is smart enough that since you have two cats, it's like if you know the weight of your cat, you can say, okay, well, Charlie weighs 15 pounds and Luna weighs like whatever, 11 pounds. It knows which cat is pooping or peeing, and it like can tell you like, hey, like it sends you an alert. It's like, hey, Charlie just made a poop. Like, good job, Charlie.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
The future is now.
Ooh, some privacy issues there. Okay, Chris, if somebody wants your $100 poop box.
Andrew, do you not want to get the alerts when I use the litter robot? Because I thought you wanted those.
All right, how can people get your $100 poop box, Chris? What's the best way to reach you?
You can just call or text. It's 206-214-8444.
Okay, I'm going to say that again because I like to say things. 206-214-8444 to reach Chris. Texting sounds like it's preferred there.
Yeah, that'd be fine, and I can send you pictures and all that stuff.
Okay, just be careful with those pictures.
That's a deal, by the way. I'm here to say that if you're in the Seattle area and you've got cats, that's a deal. $100.
All right, Chris. Thank you very much. Good luck. I will see you at Bad Albert sometime soon, okay?
Thanks for what you do. Everything you do is so. I screwed up that quote. Sorry.
Don't worry.
So important. Thanks, friendos.
Thanks, Chris. I often forget the end of the show. Oh, by the way, Andrew, I have a new sign-off for today's episode. When we get to that point, that I heard a caller say on Tradio this morning.
Do I have to learn it? Is it a call and response?
Yeah. Do you want me to just tell you now, and then it's a two-part. It can be a two-parter. Okay.
Yeah, you tell me now. I will write it down.
Yeah, and I'll remind you at the end of the show again. But basically, there's some guy was calling in about something, and the Tradio guy said, all right, well, you have a good day. And the guy said, well, you have a good day and a better tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Okay, yeah,
so I could say have a good day, and you could say and a better tomorrow.
And a better tomorrow is my line. I would love to I might mute my mic. What's that? Yeah.
We can rehearse when we get towards the end of the show.
All right, that sounds good. In the meantime, I do have another fish on the line here, and I'm sorry for calling our listeners fishes.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are worse animals to be called.
Ahoy, hoy.
Who do we have?
Hey, fellas, this is Aisha in Taos, New Mexico.
Hi, Aisha.
Hey, glad to have made it on here.
Yeah, good to hear your voice.
Thanks for calling in. I think we were just shouting you out on the show the other day for donating. Thank you.
You were, and I was quite proud of you, Luke. We were road dogs. My husband Cameron and I lived in a van with our pet rabbit for over a year, like every proper millennial does these days.
You know what? Not to steal Luke's thunder, but wasn't it I who made that prediction? Because afterwards I got really nervous that I was wrong about that. And so
oh my gosh, Andrew, I'm so sorry.
And I think I pulled the rug out from Andrew.
A compliment from you.
I think Andrew said something like, and they've been traveling around. And I said, have they? And that's sent Andrew spiraling for 4 straight days.
I really was. And then we later on heard from some other folks who also spent a lot of time on the road. And so actually at one point this week, I was like, wait, was I confusing folks? You really just made my day. You already gave away something today, which was happiness to me, Aisha. Yes.
What do you have on offer?
Service here.
Or what are you looking for in Taos?
Well, I have been doing some art classes in Taos, primarily ceramics, and my house is now becoming way too full. And so I am trying to get rid of what I'm calling my mediocre artwork and would love to sell that out to some of the 10s if possible. So I hope that's within the rules.
Absolutely.
I don't consider it a business because it's not.
That's
I'm not
fine.
trying to make a ton of money on this, just to cover my costs of doing this silly little hobby that I've taken up since moving here.
What is it? What is your mediocre artwork, as the text on the screen says?
It's primarily ceramics, so there's a lot of mugs, a lot of planters. If anyone wants to see what I've got, I put together a little website for it, aishalittle.com, AISHALITTLE.com. And there's a section related to my mediocre art. And
it's literally, I'm there, Aisha.
Like
it's first of all, This is absolutely not mediocre. This is really cool. I'm looking at it, but the hyperlink on your website literally
kind of
says
you.
mediocre art.
Oh yeah,
These are
I know my
great.
place here.
Aish, these are really nice. Curvy planter. Look at looks like
thank
a
you.
juicer.
I love my curvy planter.
You've always been a curvy planter guy. Aisha, this is good stuff.
So if anyone is just, thanks for the compliment, but it's not the highest quality, so I hope I've priced it accordingly. If anyone likes something and they're like, ooh, this is not worth the $20 I say I want for it, let me know. And my email's on the website, aackle@gmail.com. And that's how people can let me know if they want anything that I'm selling.
Nice. All right. And I'm going to direct people back to the website where they will find your email address. Again, it's aishalittle.com, and Aisha is AISHA, aishalittle.com. You can look at the stuff there and also find the contact information. And everything is kind of priced individually, it sounds like.
That's right.
Nice. That's awesome.
Aisha, that's really cool. Again, thank you so much to you and Cameron, aka Camion, for tolerating the show. All these years. Is Cameron an 11 or a 10 or a 15?
He's a proper 10.
Nice.
And his dad started listening in the radio days, and then when he and I met in college, I felt like I had to impress him by liking his little podcast here, and so here we are.
We were like
later.
We were like the dad band that you had to pretend to like while you were courting this person.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, it all worked out. Here we are together years later, right?
You're
right.
yeah, it's like we're the copy of Badlands that I showed Genevieve when
Is that
we
a
were
Terrence
first
Malick
dating.
reference?
It certainly is a Terrence Malick. I was gonna say Gummo, but that actually almost tore us apart, so I won't go with that one. Aisha, thanks so much.
Yeah,
That's
thanks,
really
Aisha.
cool.
We really appreciate y'all.
Thanks, fellas.
Take care.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Andrew, would this be an
Yes.
okay time? I'm not trying to back lead here.
No, I'm thinking that you're
picking up
going
what I'm putting down?
exactly what I was thinking.
Which is I feel like when we've been describing this whole project, this Tradio thing, and I've been trying to think of, or maybe you've been trying to think of an item, a hypothetical item that could be for sale. We for some reason kept landing on snowblower, which I think is pretty funny because neither of us. Well, that's not true. Maybe from your New Hampshire days, you
I'll
owned
bet
one.
you that's why I always said snowblower,
Yeah.
because I was in New
Yes.
Hampshire listening to people getting rid of their snowblowers.
It is so far outside my experience of anywhere I've ever lived or anything I've ever owned. But it turns out we do know someone who literally has a snowblower, and it's literally our colleague and friend, John Sklaroff, TBTL employee numero uno. Can we see if we can bring the master of subtitles up here, please? John, by the way, killing it with the subtitles today.
Yeah, this is fun.
Just doing what I can.
Dude, it's so great. Again, completely lost on the podcast listeners, but it's delighting the living tweedle out of me over here.
Good. They can always go back and watch the stream on YouTube.
Yeah,
later.
yeah, this will be a good video product as well. Yeah, so can you? I have a million questions about this. Should we start though with? How do you want to handle this, Andrew? As far as
Let's start with the basics, John. What do you got? What is this baby?
So I have an MTD Yard Machines 26-inch snowblower. From what I can tell, okay, I should preface by saying we didn't pay for this. This was like in somebody else's garage that we just like, oh, we'll take it. And now it's been sitting in our garage and has been barely used the last few years. It might need some tune-up and stuff, so you might have to like give a little tender loving care. But I think retail knew this thing probably went for like $500-600. I just want it gone. If you come to my house in St. Paul, it's yours. Just please take it away.
Wow.
It's taking up space in the garage.
That is a really cool offer because again, you're in a place in a part of the world where that really comes in handy. That snow blowering.
Yeah, if I'm being totally honest, which TBTL is nothing but honest, is we have like more of a driveway pad. We don't really need a heavy duty snowblower. When we first took it on, we thought it was maybe something a little less cumbersome. But if you have like a good sized driveway and you're in the Twin Cities and you want to do some heavy duty snowblowing, please come.
Can we see the video of this? I understand we do have
we
assets
are a
on this.
multimedia organization.
I want to see this because this is a burly piece of machinery here. Look at those. I don't even know what you call those.
I don't
blades.
know. Yeah,
blades. I like blades. Yeah, I love hearing the birds in the background on that little video. By the way,
Do you know what this? If you want a sense of how out of the snowblower loop I am, when I heard you say snowblower, John, in one of our TBTB meetings, I thought a snowblower was like a leaf blower. I thought it was a thing someone wears on their back and it blows the snow, which again would just be what a leaf blower is. But this is a thing. It's almost like a rototiller. It kind of it sort of picks the snow
It chops it up.
and then it kicks it out to the side. Again, this is something cold climate people know all about. It's a new world for me.
So the actual blower part, and I'm not technically inclined, so please don't come at me in the sharpshooting. It's like the actual blower part is like this arm that comes out the top, and like so it's bringing in the snow, churning it up, and then blowing it out, spitting it out. This model also has a lamp, like a light on it. So
we'll leave the light on for you.
Snow blow at night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll really make your neighbors
Night
happy.
blowing
In fact,
deserves a quiet blow. Wait, what?
John, I did ask. It's funny. One of you guys just brought up leaf blowers, and that's a question that I had. Is there ever? So here in the Pacific Northwest, I have noticed something more and more, which is people getting very, very angry about leaf blowers. Generally speaking, there are people who are just like, abolish all leaf blowers. Like, get yourself a rake. We don't need this racket. Like, you can do this manually. It's not a big deal. Now, snow is a very different thing. It gets very, very heavy in the Midwest, especially if it's a wet snow. Is there any of that? Are there some people who are like, you don't need a damn snow blower. Turn that thing off. You're making too much racket.
I don't think that's the case. I think people are accustomed to the sound of it here. It is like when there's a snowfall.
Well, you're also trying to sell a snowblower.
No, he's trying to give one away.
Yeah, don't undercut me. No. I think it's one of those things where like if there's like more than 4 to 5 inches, you'll start hearing it in the morning.
Yeah. And it does seem, again, I'm the person who has the least knowledge of this, but it strikes me that getting the snow cleared off of like driveways and sidewalks and walkways is it's a community good, you know? And so it might just be like, we got to put up with this. Whereas the leaf blowing, and what I've noticed is the leaf blowing happens with the most regularity in very, very wealthy neighborhoods, because very wealthy neighborhoods are full of homes that are often staffed by people that do landscaping. And there's nothing worse than we're like on a CBS shoot and we happen to be like this week, coming week, we're going to be filming at Seth MacFarlane's house, the Family Guy. I promise you, there will be 5 leaf blowers going all the time in the various mansions in the neighborhood. So it's one of those things that it is both annoying to me, the sound of a leaf blower, and it annoys me the wealth that often is adjacent to the leaf blower, which is not what the snow blowing is about.
Luke, you're 100% right. Like we actually have neighbors on either ends of my house, like a few doors down on either side, Tim and Mike, who one of them will inevitably just do the whole sidewalk for somebody with their snowblower.
Oh, thoughtful.
And like just drop off like a 6-pack at their house or something, or some cheese curds. And
That's awesome.
Really, it's
I
really
do
nice.
think snow, that's another thing about snow. It is the thing that seems to bring out a community spirit in the idea of maybe if you have a neighbor who's older or something, kind of like taking care of their driveway, or you know what I mean? Like this idea that you can show kind of love to your neighbors by helping them out a little bit, or just like, I was already out here with the snowblower. Let me just hit your sidewalk and stuff. Like it brings people together generally.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, shout out to Dave Burnham, my former neighbor in New Hampshire, who would also snow blow our driveway. The man was 30 years older than me, and he was out there snow blowing our driveway.
Did you have a snowblower, Andrew, in New Hampshire?
No, I don't believe I've ever had a snowblower. We might, you know what? I was going to say we might have had one in Valley City, Ohio, but I think I'm thinking of a rototiller, which is sort of a similar shape.
Well, that's what I just said earlier. It's this thing, the thing that John has looks like a rototiller.
Oh, did you say that? I'm sorry. I was probably distracted with thinking
Andrew,
of my
what was
next
your
joke.
plan for getting through, other than Dave Burner? What was your plan for getting through the New Hampshire winter without a snowblower? Were you just hardcore shovel man?
Oh yeah, he didn't do it all the time. Yeah, you just shoveled the snow a lot. We had a full driveway that you would sort of drive up. But that's why I always think about like what winters, like snowy winters are like. It's like you would just wake up on a Wednesday and be like, well, I'm not sure if I want to go into work today, but that's not even the problem right now because I need to spend like literally an hour just getting like sweaty in the driveway under a bunch of winter clothes, shoveling out the cars, and then letting them defrost. And then after an hour of that, then you can head in to your job.
This is why you have no patience for me complaining about it being cloudy in the wintertime here.
It is a little, just like, yeah. But I will say this, and this gets us a little bit off topic, and I got a listener who's on hold here we should go to maybe in a moment. Another fish on the line. But there is something communal about weather experiences. Now, when you're talking about like really severe ones where lives are in danger, that's really scary, of course, and I don't want to minimize that. But when you have a big weather event that hopefully on a broad scale is not like necessarily life-threatening, but still life-altering, like a big storm coming into the Northeast or something like that, everybody huddles together in a way, and everybody, and there's a sense of community. And I've come to develop a theory that I want to be very careful with my words here because I don't want to diminish people's experiences here in the Pacific Northwest. But I do think that, and I was thinking about this a few weeks ago. Everybody was like, oh, false spring is coming. And they were like complaining about the nice weather because it wasn't going to last. And I was like, you have nice weather in January. Just go enjoy it and then deal with the rain when it comes back. But it occurred to me, I think no matter where you live, people want to get together around the weather. I think the reason the big dark has become a bigger thing in recent years, as I've noticed it, is because people want to commune around this idea of we're all in this together. And when you look at it that way, it's kind of nice.
It is literally the only universally shared experience if you think about it in a particular area. It's well, generally speaking, it's apolitical unless we're talking about climate change. But it's the rare thing that you can just kind of go, if it's raining outside, everyone who's outside is experiencing the same thing. And so it is bonding in that way. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
How do people get a hold of you, John, to get their hands on this
real easy.
sweet, free snowblower?
Yeah, just shoot me an email, andrew@tbtl.net.
No.
Yeah, what's the rule on that?
Yeah, no, you can send my email. Please send John, JON@tbtl.net, and I'd be happy to hear from you. Again, if you're in the Twin Cities area or you want to travel to the Twin Cities and pick up a large snowblower, it is yours. Please just
But it works. You're saying it might need a tune-up, but it works.
Yeah, I think so. Here's again, I'm not mechanically inclined. My father-in-law, who is, got it to work for us the last time we used it. That was like last winter, one time.
Just hit that carburetor with a little bit of spray some gas directly in that carb. You'll be fine.
I see. These are words I don't even know what they mean. This is not my bailiwick.
Ever since I changed the blades on my electric riding lawnmower, I think I'm freaking Ed Hume over here, just like Mr. Lawn Repair. So I'd say hit that carburetor with a little gas and you'll be fine.
Well, thank you. John, JON@tbtl.net, not Andrew.
Don't send it to me. I have nothing to, when I get this show posted, I am done. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John, man. Appreciate you. Good job with all this today. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
It's been great. And also, John did not mention this on the show, but I will mention it. If you can't make it to his neighborhood to pick it up, he is willing to ship it. Free shipping. He says he'll cover all the costs. He'll send it overseas. He said the further away, the better, actually. So, and he will take care of all of that.
I remember that, too, from that meeting.
That's right. I have a caller here who's been waiting for 8.5 minutes. We'll bring them up onto the line right now.
Ahoy, hoy.
Somebody maybe in the Seattle area. Who do we got?
Hi
Hello,
there. You're
caller.
on TBTL Tradio. Can you hear us?
All right. That person is gone. We don't have time for
I gotta say,
such foolishness.
That's, so far, and of course now this is the biggest jinx of all time. All the technology has worked really well so far today, Andrew. I'm very proud of this. Very happy. Nice work.
Yes. Now, this might be the same caller calling back. Hello, you're on TBTL Tradio.
Hi, can you hear us?
Hi. Oh, sorry. This is Karen from Seattle, your local gardener.
Hey,
Hi,
Karen. How you doing?
Hi. Good. I'm great. So I'm calling because I have plants to give away, and I can't guarantee that they will glorify the Lord, but I think they might.
I'm sorry, I'm hanging up on you. If they can't glorify the Lord, we're not
they're the only kind of plants that we're accepting today, Karen. No, what do you got?
Well, I don't. I suspect they do, but I can't guarantee it. That's all I'm saying. So,
absolutely, there are no guarantees in life. What kind of plants?
Yeah. So I have irises. Oh, which kind of ironically, the kind of iris I have is called Cry of Rejoice.
Okay, so well that sounds glorifying.
That one might glorify the Lord. I have some crocosmia, which are orange, cute little orange plants that bloom in August. And I have some hellebores, which bloom in March. That's very cool because they bloom when nothing else is blooming. Also, by the way, this is all sort of Pacific Northwest plants. So
you're talking growing zone 8.5.
Pardon?
You're talking growing zone 8.5, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
So
The real ones know.
And then I have exactly. So then I have some, and this sounds kind of dirty, but I have some red hot pokers.
Mm-hmm.
I love red hot pokers. Those are a great plant. We used to have those at the Burbank Springs Broadcast Center. Yeah, those are really fun.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. I mean, they come up. They're sort of tropical looking, where they come up with these sort of yellow spikes, and they're orange at the top. And they need very little maintenance. I mean, you practically have to do nothing. If you plant them in like light soil, they'll just grow and be happy. So, anyway, I'm in Lake Forest Park, and I'm just giving these away. I have lots of them. So anyone who wants free plants, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can DM me on Blue Sky. And I'm just Karen Hugg, KarenHugg, at I don't know, bluesky.social, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
We're calling it Bluesky now, by the way.
I don't know if you
based
caught
on
up.
a caller we had on Friday.
Hey, Karen, two things. One, do you want to also like promote your the other stuff that you're doing around plants? What's the name of your project again?
Oh, well, I a couple of years ago during I think it was 2022, I had a book published called Leave Your Troubles Behind.
Right.
How to De-Stress and Grow Happiness Through Plants. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a book that I did during the pandemic, where I compiled all the research out there about how plants can make us happier. And so it's sort of like this compendium of that research. It's sort of like all the research is in one place in this book. And then there's activities that I include, and then stories about how plants have helped people's mental health improve. So that's all.
Okay, excellent. One other, just selfishly, Karen, can I ask you quickly a couple of plant questions?
Oh yeah, sure.
When this is done today, I am literally going to go out and in my yard, and I'm going to I have these very large planters, which I'm going to put soil in, and then I'm going to put these star jasmine starts in there that I have that are already starting to climb. And my question is, do I want to try to really kind of like the star jasmine are still in their pots? There's 6 of them. They're in the pots that they came in, but I'm going to take them out. Do I want to try to loosen up the roots when I'm kind of integrating them into the soil? And then also one of them seems like it's kind of dried out. 5 of them are doing great, the star jasmine. One seems like it's kind of dead, but I'm hoping it's not dead. How would you revive a star jasmine start that kind of the leaves are pretty brown?
So have they been inside or have they been outside?
They were inside until we got past the freeze. These have not gone through a freeze. Now they're outside. They were inside here in the studio, literally next to me until like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and does the studio have heat? Like, did that star jasmine possibly dry out from maybe your heater?
Maybe. If it dried out, is it dead then probably?
Well, it depends. What you can do is you can, with your thumbnail, scratch the bark just a little bit. And if it is green underneath, that means the plant is still moving water and nutrients through its system.
Okay.
And then also you could try it up top, and if it's brown up top, you can try it lower and keep going a little bit lower until you see green.
I've got to try to find some evidence that it's still growing, I guess.
Right, that it's still moving nutrients. So then what you can do is you can trim off the brown stuff at the top, and I would trim it when it's kind of at the little Y's of where the branches, branch out.
Yeah.
Always prune back to there, and then you can kind of keep cutting it until you see that green spot.
Okay.
And then I would plant it in some, just some fresh potting soil, and I'd put like some maybe slow release fertilizer in there, like Osmocote, and then just give it a good watering and keep an eye on it. See if it sprouts new little growth.
I bought some fertilizer too. I bought some soil that supposedly has fertilizer in it, but I also bought fertilizer, but I don't want to burn the plant. Should I make sure the fertilizer is not right up against the base of the plant?
Yeah, you want to the slow release fertilizer is meant to be mixed in with the dirt among the roots. I mean, I wouldn't put a lot on. I would just sprinkle a little on the edges.
Okay.
And then that will eventually, just sort of become part of the soil and feed the roots. I would watch out for compost. That'll burn the roots.
Okay,
so
no compost.
Just like fresh potting soil should be enough. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you. This is so helpful. I don't know if this has been good for the listeners or the Tradio callers, but Karen, this has been exactly the information I needed for the rest of my day. So thank you.
So going back,
no problem. That's a great choice to plant jasmine, Luke. I mean, especially down there, kind of around Portland. You have the heat that we don't get as much here, but they'll still bloom for you if they get fertilized and get.
Yeah,
some
well,
heat.
sleep,
So
creep,
enjoy.
leap, right? Sleep, creep, leap is what I've heard about this particular plant. So anyway, what were you saying, Andrew?
I was going to say, to go over the basics, Karen, you have some plants to give away. You're in Lake Forest Park here in Seattle, and the best way for people to find you is to look for Karen Hugg. That's Hugg on Instagram or Bluesky.
That's right.
And-
I'm on Bluesky and Instagram.
And do folks get a lifetime's worth of advice along with these free plants?
Hey, I love, to be honest, I mean, I was a garden designer for like 20 years, so I love talking about plants. And so you got questions, you can also just DM me with questions. No problem.
I'm coming at you, Karen, because like I'm building these raised beds. I'm like Mr. Attempted Green Thumb this year, and I have a lot of questions. So I'll be hitting you up on Instagram.
Oh, no problem. That's great.
All right.
More gardening, the better.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Leave your troubles.
What a great name.
Behind. I love it. It's a beautiful volume, too. I'm not joking. Why would I joke about that? I'm opening the lines one more time here. Luke, what do you think? Do you have like one more call in
One more call.
Yeah.
Because these have all been really good calls today.
I know. It's like you don't.
I kind of want to leave on a high note.
I know.
But also maybe we could fly to new heights with this final call.
I mean, we are putting so much pressure on this last caller who apparently is possibly calling in from, again, the greater Seattle area.
It's our hot zip.
Ahoy, hoy.
Who's on the line?
This is Evan.
Evan.
What's up, Evan? How you doing, buddy?
I got through. It's going great. I cannot believe. Well, I've called. I think.
Hello.
I have to hear Andrew's. Are you?
You're breaking up a little bit, Ev.
I think we have a bad line here.
Maybe step outside.
Hold
Or step
on.
inside.
Got it. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I
now you
think
sound
so.
better.
Yes. You've been trying to get on the line all morning. Is that what you were saying?
Well, 92 times in a row.
Wow.
I
and
think.
then I was the caller that I dropped my AirPod out of my ear, so it disconnected us. I was waiting 8.5 minutes.
Oh, sorry, man.
So that was fun. I'm really, really stoked that I got through to you guys because I've got something really fun to offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody living up here, I mean, I'm in the Northwest, and as Luke, I think, can attest, I've got a pretty cool sailboat, and I'm willing to offer anybody a free cruise on it.
Whoa.
Let's go crabbing. No,
Now, this is
seriously,
kind of going
like-
against our rules here, Evan. This is not a free hugs, no free back rubs, no clarinet lessons. I think we're kind of delving into the experience
I'm
thing
charging.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, no experiences.
That was sort of what we were going for, but I guess I'm cutting you off here. This was sort of a clearing out your garage kind of situation, but
Okay, I've got a property full of cool shit that I want to get rid of. I mean,
I can attest. I've been to
endless.
Evan's property many times, and there's a lot of cool shit there.
You sure have. No, you guys, I've got a huge wood shop, and I have about 300 live edge slabs because I've got a sawmill that I'm willing to part with for a small cost.
Okay, now we're talking.
So if somebody
Are we
is looking
getting back into the groove,
yeah, we're on. We're
Are we
right in
getting-
the groove, Ev. So basically, if somebody is looking to get a live edge, which if you know what that is, it's like that really beautiful wood. Sometimes people make tables out of it, or various things.
Yep. Or I have all of the capacity to cut it down for you to any dimension. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And just for a small fee, I mean, I do it on a sliding scale. So if people can't afford these things, I work with them budget-wise. So
what if I had a really
I
wet
make
piece
sure-
of wood, Evan, and I needed to dry it in a kiln? That's not a service you could provide, is it?
I have a wood kiln that I built in my shop, and if you're anywhere nearby, I mean Seattle, whatever, bring as much as you want up here, and I will dry it for you. And even the hardest wood, such as black walnut, maple, things like that, I can have bone dry with 8% moisture within 2 weeks.
That's the
And,
exact percentage of
I've been-
moisture that I'm always looking for in my black walnut.
Well, you're always looking. You need the 8%, Luke.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. So if you,
I got a hole that needs some gunking. I don't know if you have any advice on that, but how can people get a hold of
Okay.
you for your dry wood or for their wet
Well,
wood to get
okay.
dried?
or live edge.
Yeah, can we throw that? I specifically need text messages though, because
Okay.
I don't answer unknown phone calls.
Good call.
It's somebody chasing me for something, you know, generally.
right.
So
Fraternity tests,
I
the like.
just say, TBTL in the text message, and I
Okay.
will get right back to
What's
you.
the number,
My
Evan?
phone number is, and also I've got lots of eggs from my 18 chickens.
Oh, nice.
And for a little donation, my phone number is 206-696-0787.
Okay. So text Evan
And,
if you want. I want to reset this, Ev. And this is my
Okay.
friend Evan, who I've been out on his boat gunk holing many a summer. Dear friend of mine. If you're looking to buy some wood, he's got all kinds of cool stuff out there at his wood shop. If you need some woodworking done, or if you need some fresh farm eggs, he's got all of that happening at 206-696-0787. But text, because there's a lot of people looking for him, and he does not answer the phone.
And lots of tools as well that I want to part with.
Nice.
Cool.
Perfect.
So,
all right.
yeah,
Thank you, Evan.
Thanks, guys. Love
Thanks,
ya.
Ev.
Glad
Love
you
you
got
too, brother.
through. All right. There you go, Luke.
I'm telling you, man, like Evans, it's a cornucopia of cool stuff. This guy's got a pickleball court.
Oh,
he's you name it, Evan's got it. So get in touch with him if you just almost anything you can think of. He's probably got a cool version of it out there.
Not to put you on the spot, Luke, but I have some notes here too. Did you want to quickly recap some of the offers that are on the table today?
Absolutely.
I'll maybe get the ball rolling here,
do
and then maybe you can pick up. Maybe we can go back and forth or something. But I know we heard from Carolyn. She was our first call. She's got a 2013 Ducati Motard, going for Hyper Motard. Sorry, going for $6,000.
Yep.
And or
Jake in Chicago, who's got that Magnavox record player.
I'm going to give
working
it,
speaker.
1 second. Let me give out Carolyn's phone number. It's 858-997-8975. That's 858-997-8975 if you're interested in that motorcycle. And then Jake?
Yeah, Jake's record player in Chicago, which you could pick up if you're in the Chicagoland area. His number, 616-745-9362.
Beautiful. Baby formula. Might do all kinds of interesting things to your baby's digestive system, but mostly will provide nutrients. This is from Danny in the New York City area. I think he said, is he in the Manhattan area?
Yeah, Manhattan.
I heard, yeah.
La-ti-da.
Text Danny at 302-547-0444 if you're into that. That's FBI's Danny Crawford.
If you're giving your cats infant formula and it's causing them to just absolutely shit their brains out, Chris and Ballard has the answer. It's a litter robot. It's one of these high-tech, amazing, it's the kind of thing, Andrew, that if you saw it on Instagram, let me put it this way. It's the kind of technological solution that I often see on Instagram that I then avail myself of that then does not actually work in a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. This is one of the cases where it absolutely works.
You did really sing the praises of this thing when you first got it. You loved it.
Because, I loved having a cat, and maybe someday we'll get Bubbles back out here, but I'm, like most people, not a huge fan of the cleaning the litter situation. It really does actually keep this thing under wraps. And then once a week, you just empty this drawer. You take out a plastic bag that's in this drawer, and then you toss it out. It's a nice thing. It's that's going for, they're asking $100 for this thing. It's and they're at 206-214-8444.
That's what I got as well, yeah.
214-8444.
And that's Chris and Ballard here in the Seattle area. We had Aisha out there in New Mexico, Taos, New Mexico, a whole bunch of artwork, ceramics that she's made. She described it as mediocre art. We take issue with that adjective, but you can reach Aisha. You can actually check this stuff out at aishalittle.com. That's AISHA little.com, and you'll find contact information there as well.
A guy named John somehow hacked into the mainframe and was able to actually get on the video feed with us. He's got a snowblower in St. Paul that he's happy to give away if you'll come pick it up. If you'll take it off his hands, it's a working snowblower. And if you can't get it started, talk to his father-in-law.
Exactly. And you can reach John at tbtl.net. There's no H in there. JON at tbtl.net. And our friend Karen Hugh has a whole bunch of plants here in the Seattle area. Lake Forest Park, to be specific. You can reach her, Karen Hugh. Look for her on Instagram or Bluesky, and you can DM her there. Hugh is HUGG.
But get in line, because I'm going to be peppering her with questions all afternoon. And then, last but not least, my dear friend of the show, Evan, is out there in, we'll say, the Mount Vernon area, Washington, and has all kinds of different things: eggs, pieces of wood, ability to dry wood, ability to do all kinds of things. And you can reach him at 206-696-0787. 696-0787, but text only, because he's got a lot of people calling his phone line. He's stopped answering calls. So
that's right.
Wow, Andrew,
that was a lot of fun.
This was so fun. Thank you to everyone who called in. Thanks to everybody who tuned in on YouTube and who's maybe listening to this now as a podcast product on Monday. We got to do this again, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think I'm ready for the new sign-off.
Okay, just to remind you,
it's
I've got it written down here because I didn't want to mess it up.
Have a good day, I think, is your part.
I say have a good day, and you say,
yeah.
and a better tomorrow,
and
right?
A better tomorrow, yes.
All right, so here we go.
All
Let's
right,
just
we
try
did
that.
it.
Three. No, that was the
we're doing
practice.
A little practice?
That was the practice.
But but that is the practice. Right now we're going to do it for real.
Yeah, now the real one. Okay,
all right, I'll let
so here's
you take
the real
over
one.
here.
Hey, thanks everyone for being part of the inaugural voyage of TBTL Tradio. Hope you have a really nice time out there, and please remember, have a good day
and a better tomorrow.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Power out.